Hey, what's going on? This is another episode of the Reporter Vlog for June 10th, 2024 on a Monday morning. I'll try to get a double header in today. One of next story is pretty much a video story dump because it was 5 days ago. Hey, shoot. When you run the podcast and you got this page to do, you ain't gonna get to them right on when they're hot, part of the story. But anyway, gonna get them out there, get them out anyway. This story ain't exactly fresh too, but it's still useful. It's still news. First story in this doubleheader dump. Target route reduction will now start at the end of June because of agreement with JCPS. All right, credits is brought to you by WGRB.com, uh, uh, published by Katrina Nickel on June 4th, 2024. Updated on June 6th, 2024. Timeline to reduce target routes has been expedited because of an agreement between the state's largest school district and city's sole public transit system. Beginning June 30th, TORC will reduce more than half of its 30 routes uh, to run on the Saturday schedule. That means it will run for fewer hours during the day, as in less frequently. Three routes will be eliminated completely. Talk suggested it will cut back routes on January of 2025 due to its ongoing financial crisis. The city's public transportation agency is about to lose 20% of its annual revenue with funding from America Rescue Plan ending. On top of that, Alex Polzowski, Tark's director of marketing and communication, added that Jefferson County's occupational tax has been adjusted in hasn't been added has not been adjusted in 50 years. And the state funding is not high for public transit, which is a nationwide issue. This is not something anyone Tark wants to see, said Borozowski. A good chunk of Tark employees, myself included, take the Tark bus to work almost every day. It's something we feel as well. However, the decision to move route reductions up had to do with Tark's announcement with JCPS on Monday. To avoid layoffs at Tark, about 70 Tark drivers will provide transportation for students to some JCPS magnet schools. The district has been actively recruiting drivers as it deals with a bus driver shortage. Recently eliminated transportation for all magnet traditional schools, with the exception of Central and Western high schools, which has a high percentage of students on free and reduced lunch. Because of this agreement, TARC would not need to transition drivers sooner than originally planned, to allow time for them to practice JCPS routes ahead of the new school year. Drivers will still be considered TARC employees. That don't make no sense. Drivers will be considered TARC employees with company benefits. They will earn the same salary as JCPS drivers. This process moved much process moved much faster than we would have liked it to. But when you're faced with a financial situation like what we are sometimes, Sometimes that is the case, that things have to move fast, said Brzezowski. Our four busiest routes remain the same. That includes 4th Street, Dixie Rapid, uh, uh, Broadway, and 28th. In other words, if we head down Broadway, you can get to 23rd. If we're going out to Jefferson Mall, you can still get to 28th. Like I said, almost half of its daily boardings are on one of those four lines. However, the reduction will still impact several riders. Michelle Carter is saving up for to buy a car and fears the reduction will mean she has to get up early in the morning, catch a bus, or risk being late to the work. I get up at 4:20 and stuff like that, and my bus don't come until 5:15. Carter said it keeps changing. I just really like data. It just really like feel like they need to find a schedule and stick with it. William Mays recently retired and relies solely on TARC to get to doctor's appointments and enjoy community events. Mays lives off the Cane Run Road in South Louisville and said it's already difficult for him to enjoy local events in the evening because his bus routes don't typically run past 10 p.m. It makes it a lot harder, Mays said. I want to be a part of and enjoy the community. And when you can't do much of it, it makes things a lot more isolating and lonely. TARC hosted an open house meeting to answer questions and take feedback about route reductions on Tuesday at its headquarters in Union Station on Broadway. Riders will have a second chance to share their thoughts to get the questions answered on Wednesday, June 5th. And meetings will be held in Douglas Boulevard Christian Church from 5 to 8 p.m. The address of the long-term solution TARC is also working on TARC 2025, according to the website, due this year-long initiative. We will work directly with the community to develop strategies for an updated TARC transit network that would better meet the region's needs and priorities within reality of the funding TARC expects to receive over the next 5 to 10 years. But right now, the city is in trouble. 5 to 10 years, that's the future. But the present situation is still here. But this is a little bit in a nutshell. The city continues to ignore what the real needs, and they worry more about its reputation above the real needs. Let's put it like that. Basically, this is putting a band-aid on a pretty bad wound, which is JCPS, at the risk of hurting the public in general. So many people got to pay the price for it too. Basically, the guy they talked about how he would like to go to community events and things like that, and if the bus is going to run on Saturday schedule, you can't do that. But I noticed they kept all the busy streets in the downtown, except somehow they kept the routes as far as the 4th Street, the bus. I know about that one. I don't know about the 10th. So, but in the Broadway bus that shoots, it said 23 bus that shoots up and down Broadway. And the 28th Street bus, that's the one that goes out to Jefferson Mall and whatnot. But somehow they always manage to keep the ones that are the busiest alive, but they forget about the rest. It seems like everything with this city is all centered around downtown, in on Broadway, yeah, on Broadway, which is where the heart of the city is pretty much at. So, like I said, that's Louisville being Louisville, taking care of their busiest parts, uh, making sure there's transportation up and down Broadway, taking care of them workers that work down there on Broadway, while forgetting everybody else. And that don't make no sense because when you've been laying out people and continue to call them employees. That makes no sense right there because you laying them off and you continue to call them target employees. Shoot, I don't. Well, it's just my opinion on that. But it's like I said, this city's just been it's just so slow. It really is. Perfect example, Jefferson County occupational tax hasn't been adjusted in 50 years. My goodness, the state funding is not high for public transit, which is a nationwide issue. Because, like I said, to return to the original point, the city pumps money into their reputation more than their need. Yeah. Their real need. And that sums up Louisville to a nutshell. The city tries to be big, but they are not big. But it's that's gonna make things rough for people. It really does. But not for the people pretty much that works on Broadway, because like to read there at people, or at least 3 out of the 4 people that works on Broadway, 3 out of 4 stops are still alive. 4th Street, 23rd, Broadway, and Preston Highway. But that's all I got. I can't add no more to this one and take away from this story because I got to move on. Get these stories done because they've been on my Facebook page a little bit too long. uh, but on to the next. On to the next. Okay. From bus problems to pretty much plague problems. If you want to really say it, uh, the 10 plague, you can pretty much make this out to be one of the 10 plagues. Giant venomous spiders, spiders with 4-inch legs heading to the New York area as they spread across the East Coast, experts say. No matter when, not if, the spiders are set to arrive, experts say it could happen any day now. Giant venomous spiders with 4-inch legs heading to the New York area as they spread across the East Coast, experts say. Credits is brought to you by CBS, published by Lee Cohen, updated on June 5th, 2024, 6:25 p.m. CBS News. First came the spotted lanternflies, then the cicadas, and now spiders. The northeast U.S. is bracing for invasion of giant venomous spiders with 4-inch legs, long legs that can parachute through the air. Man. Earlier this year, the New Jersey Pest Control warned of the incoming spiders and saying Joro spiders will be hard to miss, as females have a leg span of up to 4 inches and are known for their vibrant yellow and gray bodies. What sets them apart, however, is their ability to fly, a trait uncommon among spiders. The company said, while not accurate flight in the vein sense, Joro spiders utilize a technique known as ballooning, where they release silk web threads into the air, allowing them to be carried by the wind. Whew. Jose R. Ramirez Garofalo, ecologist at Rutgers University in Rutgers University's Lockwood Lab, and the president of Protectors of Pine Oak Woods in Staten Island, told SI Live it is a matter of when, not if, the spiders arrive in New York and New Jersey. A peer-reviewed study published last October by invasive species expert David Coyle found that the invasive species is here to stay. Arachnids are native of Asia, but were introduced to North Georgia around 2010, and studies said that they are continuing to spread. Experts have warned that the species could spread to New York since 2022, but none have been detected yet. And when it doesn't so like all the creepy crawly things, this has all the characteristics that makes them squeamish. Gore previously told CBS News, saying a press release that data showed that the spider is going to be able to inhabit most of the eastern U.S. It shows that their comfort area is the native range matches up very well with much of the North America. People have reported seeing gyro spiders across much of the eastern U.S., including in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, in the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and Ohio. New York happens to be right in the middle of where they like to be. University of Georgia researchers Andy Davis told the New York Times in December he believes the spiders could pop up across New York and in the neighboring states this summer, aka any day now. It seemed to be okay with living in a city, Davis said, saying it has been Joro spiders on the street lamps and telephone poles where regular spiders wouldn't be caught dead in. Arachnids are venomous, but Cole said that they do not pose a danger to humans. That venom, he said, is reserved for the critters that get caught in their webs, including butterflies, wasps, cockroaches. It could also pose a threat to native spiders. We have no evidence that they've done any damage to persons or a pet, he said. So basically, I don't know if these guys are here right now, but basically the plague of spiders is coming. They said any day now, according to this article. Like I said, it's pretty much a scene out of the could be one of the 10 Commandments, 10 plagues. Got spiders hitting New York. First rats, now spiders. Now I'm kind of glad I never went to New York. I had the privilege of going to New York, even though they said they could hit in Kentucky and pretty much the bottom half, pretty much the South, but they mostly hitting in New York. But if you plan to go to New York, you might want to rethink your plans, because other than rats, now now New York's pretty much noted for having are going to be noted for having spiders from Asia in that city. But there's something else though. First, you had the bees, the red poisonous bees that came along. Then the cicadas, of course, they're pretty much no threat. And strange fly, strange spotted lantern fly. I never read about that though, but it's something else. Never know what's gonna fall out of the sky or what in bunches. But good thing they reserved. But they told the truth when it comes to them how they dish out their venom. Spiders usually attack whatever's landing and whatever lands in their web. And thank God for that, at least. Because imagine if they attacked humans and animals. Man, like I said, be seen out of a movie, a real life movie. But as all I can drop on this one, the Juro Spiders coming to New York pretty soon, if they haven't already made it to New York. But that's gonna do it for this one. To finish off, it's pretty much doubleheader story dump. Um, uh, I have a good one. It's another episode of the reporter vlog for June 10th, 2024 on a Monday. One more to go. I'm gone.